You're listening to the Dre Area Sports Show, live on YouTube and X. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe.
The Dre Area Sports Show is brought to you by SeatGeek. Use promo code Dre Area Sports to save $20 on your first purchase at SeatGeek.com. And we are also brought to you by BetUS. BetUS will match you up to 125% on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000 by using promo code. Dre Area Sports, Power Brand Systems. If you're looking to build a website for your small business or YouTube channel, then check out Power Brand Systems. Use promo code 300, Power to save up to $300 on your first purchase at Power Brand Systems.
Wayne, let me ask you, we talked about some players we can't pass on. Who are some players to avoid? Who are players that you've seen that you're like, you know what? I don't think I would take this guy.
It's funny because when I study these prospects, it's kind of hard for me to like, there's not a prospect that I don't like. It's most who's going to fit best and be impactful the quickest, And so when I'm looking at my top 100 list, I mean, I have my big board, my top 100. I like every one of these players. And it's really hard to say, no, it's a hard pass on this guy. It's a hard pass. Everybody has a specialty. Like it's preference. It's what does Chris Kocurek want up front? Mm-hmm. What is Robert Saleh looking to get to? Is he looking? Yeah. We talked about Walter Nolan and you said that, oh yeah, he does sometimes get pushed off the line of scrimmage and can't beat doubles, whatever. So does Mason Graham. I've watched Mason Graham have a bad game. So what are we saying? He's not good at stopping the run? Hey, it doesn't make sense. Everybody's going to have a game. So it's really hard for me to like say, nah, I'm going to pass on this guy. But I think it's you pass on the positions if you're not looking to get, like right now, do we need a top tier wide receiver? You can pass on Ted McMillan, right? Do you need Tyler Warren? No, you can pass on Tyler Warren. You still have George Kittle. So those are some of the guys I would say, I don't want to say hard pass on, but I would hard pass on them. Even Ashton Jeanty, like, as much as I like him, as much as I think he would elevate this offense, we don't need him.
We don't.
So you pass. So those
I could see them taking him down.
I could see it happening if he fell to round 2, right? But he's not, right?
If they took him at 11, I'd be like, oh my God, why are we doing this for? Because we know the way Kyle uses running backs. Christian McCaffrey's going to get the majority of the carries, and the guy you spent your number 11 pick on is just going to be sitting on the sidelines like, all right, so do I go win soon?
Johnny is funny. So Johnny and I are really great friends. For those that don't know, that think he's coming at me. No, he has the green light to come at me. We were at the Senior Bowl, and I'm like, Johnny, he looks good. He's been hard passing on Jalen Milroe since the Senior Bowl, probably before the Senior Bowl, because it was a hard pass before we even got there. But the funny thing is, Milroe has been invited to the draft. So somebody tell me what in the hell is going on. Because that means he's probably going to go day 1 or day 2.
Yeah.
So Johnny, hard pass for Niners for sure, but somebody's going to pick him up. He's going to be a quarterback for one of these teams that might have a quarterback right now and are looking for a guy to possibly be the guy of the future. I don't know, but that's the joke we have on the hard pass on Jalen Milroe. That's funny, but yeah, it's hard pass on the positions you really don't need.
I would agree. Those are luxury picks that we can't afford to take. Even guys like Will Johnson. I love Will Johnson, and he was hurt last season. But is that a guy I'm going to use my number 11 pick on? I don't know. I would try and trade that pick.
That's where it gets tricky, and I think they do, Dre. Like they're going. Listen, the Niners have the ability to move back and still draft a dynamic player, right? The key is who's looking to move up. I like Will Johnson. If they decided to go, let me give you these other 2 players.
Yeah.
If they decide to go in a whole different direction, not trenches, right? And they drafted one of these 3 players, I would smack myself happy. Will Johnson. Why? Because I know when healthy what he can do. I'm a Michigan fan, so I already know what he can do when healthy. I thought, let me just give my take on Michigan. Michigan, after Harbaugh left, it got weird.
Yeah, it did.
And I think a lot of stuff became business decisions. And I'm not saying that's what he did, but I've watched a business decision player that's been drafted to the 49ers before. And if I need to name his name, that means you have not been following the 49ers. But he was a Big Ten player. I'll leave it at that. And so I remember that player not playing his whole senior year. And then he was the second pick in the draft. Look, at the end of the day, I like Will Johnson. I wish he would. He's going to run on Monday. And if he runs a 4.3, teams will be salivating. They wouldn't give a flying fuck about his injuries in college because they already know what the film did in 2023. That's one. I'm higher on Jahad Campbell than probably most. I like Jahad over Jalen Walker because I believe Jahad is the better premier linebacker. Now, he started off as an edge rusher at Alabama, but because of the depth there, he wasn't going to see any burn, so he dropped back to becoming a linebacker. So he kind of plays like an edge rusher. He can rush off the edge. He's not as good as Jalen Walker off the edge, but he's a better linebacker than Jalen Walker, and that's a prime position that the Niners need to replace. He has the speed. He has the athleticism. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad if they did that. And then the last player, not to take too much of your time, sir.
I know we're all good.
I'm infatuated with Nick Emmanwori out of South Carolina. I need that type of safety in a 49ers uniform.
But I mean, that would be later in the draft, not with number 11.
I think he's a first round pick. I think he's the best safety in this draft.
So if you draft him, do you start him over Jair Brown?
Absolutely. It's not even a question. It's not even a question. Why? Because he already has the ball. First of all, he has elite ball skills. Second of all, he's great against the run. He can play nickel. He can play free. He can play in the box. So he's interchangeable and he's hella athletic. So right there off the rip, you got a guy with range. I'm putting the range guy out there and I'm rotating. Obviously, Malik Mustafa's going to get in there, and then I'll probably rotate some Jair Brown. I need to see Jair Brown under this regime. It's hard for me to really like say what he's going to be. Rookie year, I thought under Steve Wilkes was amazing. I'm like, oh man, this kid's gonna be all pro very soon. Then he got under Nick Sorensen and was garbage. And now he's gonna get under Saleh with Ray Brown as the new DB's coach. So I'm excited to see what he brings. But Nick Emmanwori, Niners can go with a big nickel 3 safety look out there on the football field, something we haven't really truly seen. That's some Seattle Seahawks stuff from back in the day. Robert Saleh, Seattle Seahawks connection. So I would like to see Nick Emmanwori. A lot of people might not know who he is or what he is. This kid's a problem on the football field.
I mean, if you took a guy like him, like Emmanwori, then you could essentially take another defensive tackle or edge rusher at 43, and then another one later at 75, and they'll still be there.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you for watching this video. If you want more of this content, then check out some of these recommended videos right here on your screen. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support the channel, you can do so by going to my website, which is nicotina.net. And there are memberships available under Dre Area Sports.